Big J's beef.
Hey guys, you guessed it, Big J here. Now you're probably wondering, Jay, why are you sitting around with a hood over your head like you're Darth Sidious or something? And you know what my response to that would be? It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get down to it. We're going to talk a little bit about Star Trek Prodigy. Now, here's the thing that is the part of my beef today, and this is, I've got my clipboard here. So you know when I have that, the beef is going to be pretty thick. You guys are in for some shit today. So Star Trek Prodigy has been showing us a little more of Captain Chakotay and the fate of himself and his crew on the Prodigy. And he's getting some more screen time as an animated character. And I started getting a little worried, like, okay, we're getting a little bit too much Chakotay. Are we going to have one of those spirit journeys or a pan flute playing or some crap like that? So I wrote down some things here that I want to read for you. I think you're going to like this. So this goes back to the time of Star Trek Voyager, of course. We're talking about Commander Chakotay, portrayed by Robert Beltran on Star Trek Voyager. So Chakotay was a you know what? I am so disturbed by this whole thing that I can't even talk right, okay? Forget about it. So let's try it again. Commander Chakotay, portrayed by Robert Beltran on Star Trek Voyager, was of Native American descent, but the actor himself is a Mexican American. So they hired a Native American, Jamaki Highwater, to help shape the Chakotay character. Highwater claimed that he was of American Indian ancestry, and he was hired for his Native American expertise. But Jamaki Highwater's real name was Jackie Marks. He was born in Los Angeles, California, with Jewish ancestry. I can't even say that either. Jewish ancestry. I swear I know how to speak. I am just having problems. Might be from the concussion. Got hit in the head too much playing football. So anyway, but for some reason, he began referring to himself as Highwater in the 1960s. So we go from Jackie Marks to Jamaki Highwater, Jamaki. And he became nationally known as an American Indian writer. Clearly, Marks couldn't help enrich Chakotay's character, no shit, because he had no personal knowledge of Native Americans, their beliefs, or their customs. That hurt the character's development, with some fans calling him a Native American stereotype. It's unknown how Marks obtained his position with Voyager, or even if he passed a background check. Which I'm sure he didn't, because the producers at this time, they were all for, I guess, a quote-unquote equality thing. And everyone in the Maquis faction were more or less depicted as mostly Native American. Why? I don't know. I think it was to kind of highlight this whole Maquis losing their territory, their space, their quote-unquote land to the Cardassians. So we had some tokenism happening there with the Native Americans, and this was just all encapsulated with the character of Chakotay. Even in early drafts of the pilot for Star Trek Voyager, Caretaker, his ancestry, tribe he belonged to, just kind of changed back and forth. So obviously the writers had no idea what they were doing, trying to write for and flesh out this Native American character. And so they get a consultant that actually doesn't know any more about the topic than, say, I do. So I think that's pretty pitiful. And that's my beef, is if you're going to hire someone to do a job and to help develop a character, if you're going to play it off as giving insight on something that is close and personal to you, you should be vetted. I mean, at no point here are you telling me that there are job interviews I go into for something a little bit less than shaping and molding the character that's going to be on a TV show. And there's all kinds of background checks and everything. But for this guy, Jackie Marks, he just gets a job to do a thing, starts going by Jamaki Highwater, and no one thinks to check it. I think that really highlights some of the, forgive me if I'm wrong, but the ignorance of writing in Hollywood, writing, producing, and directing in Hollywood is that you can just say your certain this, ethnicity, race, whatever, and you're taken at your word for it. Well, what this guy did basically not only hurt the character Chakotay, but also put a pretty good hurting on Robert Beltran's career, the actor who played Chakotay. Now, here's the other thing that I have a problem with. So, the ritual words Chakotay speaks, Akuchi Moya, remain in what appears to be his native language, a rather surprising phenomenon considering Star Trek's ever-present universal translator, which automatically translates even the most distant alien language into convenient English. Okay, all right, I got a problem. If you're going to use a phrase like this, Akuchi Moya, you probably don't want to use a phrase that has the word coochie in it, okay? What the fuck?
Hey, where's the beef?
We are Beyond Trek Podcast. Lower your inhibitions and surrender your ears. We will add inspirational and hilarious Trek content to your day. Your attention will adapt to subscribe to us. Resistance is futile.